Hello everyone. So today we'll be talking about strategies to master data science, and this is Shivendra Upadhyay, and I work in Ericsson as a lead data scientist, and I have around 11 years of experience in industry now, and I have worked in CPG, retail, banking and finance, and telecom, healthcare, such industries. And I have worked for many of the Fortune, I would say Fortune 500 companies in past, and currently for past 6 years I've been working in data science and machine learning related technologies and domain. Yeah, I'll be setting up the agenda for here. What is data science, why data science is important in this era of 2020, application of data science, getting a job in data science, and tips and tricks how to become a better data scientist. So moving forward, so what is data science? That's a quite, I would say, ubiquitous question. What exactly is data science? So data science, I would say, it's an application of sophisticated algorithms which are developed via, open source technology and tools, which are, freely available in market in cost, and applying some intelligent tools and algorithm to draw such insights which are not obvious to you and which are not very easy to draw or extract via coding or I would say designing some application. So data science has that magical power or quite intuitive power which will help you to draw insights. So as you can see, so these are, I just gave you, succinct, I would say, colloquial description, but it's a, this is how it works. It's a combination of method, processes, algorithm. So, to work on data, maybe on videos, on, unstructured data like tweets or Facebook comments, or, maybe ranking when you buy anything in Amazon or any other, you suppose you're buying a book, you are giving some ratings, or you're watching some movie in IMDb, you're giving some rating and comments. So, a company or any organization can, analyze the data by applying combination of all these methods, process, and technology, to analyze the behavior of the user. Accordingly, they can launch their, next product or next, I would say, new movie, new, web series or something like that. They can, via leveraging the data and the need of the consumer, what exactly they are looking for. Okay. So data science will, expedite the process rather than you are investing years, maybe 2 years. In few months, maybe I would say in few weeks, you can get keen insight, fast insight, which will help you to define the next set of action. And it will also automate the entire, process. So it's quite interesting actually. Okay. So moving forward. So why exactly one should go for data science? That's a quite, I would say a relevant question, because there are tons of technology out there and tons of fields out there. So as I said, data science has become talk of the town, not because it's highly paid or it comes with blitz or something, but it actually changes business and entire ecosystem in a way which is actually meaningful, which can be seen the way business being run. you know like take example of travel, like in travel, airlines or cab aggregator like Uber, Ola, or I would say Waymo, these companies are targeting getting selected customers, and selected routes. They are giving offers, plus they are giving a particular services in terms of sharing, cab sharing, and airport drop and pickup according to this need of the customer via leveraging the tools and technology of data science. It saves a huge amount of time plus money as well, and they can target a selected customer which will optimize their business and draw increase their revenue over the time. So it actually gives you keen insight. So in healthcare, There are many such places where healthcare facilities are not available or not, up to the mark. So with the application of data science, suppose you have X-ray, CT scan, or some, even you have doctor prescription, you can just, process it via a mobile app. The app will analyze the data, extract the information from the image or unstructured data or text. It will, on the basis of past experience or whatever the training it has done, it will suggest you, okay, this is the best hospital to go for. Maybe this is the, best example is Apple Watch or or Fitbit. It it leverages AI and machine learning and big data, such technologies in the back end. It provides you how many steps you have done, what is the, your heartbeat. And the new Apple Series watch, you can also check the oxygen level in your blood in real life time, which is even a doctor would take maybe 5 minutes or 2 minutes. They give you live data, plus they will give you analysis of your, maybe a month of activity, maybe a year of activity, or 6 months of activity, and it will give you your health report in your app or your watch just via clicking a button. So just imagine. Hence you can change your diet, hence you can, change your routine lifestyle, and keep yourself healthy, and even you can help maintain the health of your parents. So just imagine how it is changing your life in real time, you know or in education. So in education, you must have seen, because of this, corona and covid-19, everything is shut down, entire world is in lockdown. But with the help of AI and all these AI VR technologies, even countries like Sudan, or maybe Lebanon or Syria, people are able to share Stanford and Harvard classes over there. They are able to teach via application of such tool. Plus, you can simulate which age group of a student in which area are more curious about maths or history or social science or maybe coding. Accordingly, company can facilitate and drive their resources or channelize their resources. Just imagine. So everyone is leveraging data science. It saves huge amount of time, it is cost effective, it is time effective, plus it overall enhances your overall experience. So this is quite a game changer. So that is why one should opt for, if they want to make a real change or difference, I would say in real world, which you can actually see. It is tangible change, rather than you are working somewhere and you have no clue what exactly you are working on and how it is going to become the final product, how it is going to look like. But here you can see how it is impacting the real world. So this is quite fascinating actually, because it has been for me personally for past 6 to 7 years. So that's why I find data science, quite interesting and fascinating. So moving forward, so why data science in 2020? Why in this year? You know, so you could see there are lots of studies have been done by multiple organization, educational institute. There are around 12 million jobs by 2026 which are going to be available in the market. It's a quite huge increase, steep increase, given the current year around 30% or 28%. You could see this, and data science job opening stays open for more than 5 days than any other job. Just imagine, because there are not, I would say, right candidate or right talent. It's not out there, because the, I would say, demand and fulfillment ratio, there is a huge mismatch. There is a huge demand and potential in data science and related jobs, but people are not out there with right skill or and right set of talent, skills, and training. So that is why one should have to get himself or herself trained in such cutting edge technologies, because this is the future we are embarking on upon, and it will be quite helpful. Just imagine, by 2026, if this is going to be such a demand, just imagine down the line 10 years, 15 years, how it is going to take over the entire world. And it is going to cut across agriculture, banking, mining, oil and industry, healthcare, travel, hospitality. It's already making inroads, but that will become a most, key driving factor in all these sectors. Trust me. Even, government services, even Indian government, they are leveraging AI and machine learning to distribute their social services scheme, maybe Aadhaar related, subsidy and all those things. Even they are leveraging AI and machine learning for retina scan and verification and fraud detection. For such stuff they are leveraging AI/ML at huge time. So it is going to become an integral part of your day-to-day life. So this is the best time to enter in this this ecosystem and get oneself trained with the right set of skill and I would say tools. Hence you can make your career and also make a tangible contribution in this entire ecosystem. So that is actually quite interesting for me personally, and I would encourage even you try to make a, I would say, take a stab at it. Okay, so moving forward, so there are a few many big companies who are data scientists, like these are the companies like I think most of the people are aware of Microsoft, Google, IBM, Airbnb, Accenture. These are the known big giants, Fortune 100 companies, and these companies are entirely changing their end-to-end product offering, and they are making AI and machine learning their core offering in anything, whether they are operating system, whether in their platforms, servers, whether in their I would say sales or CRM, or whether in their I would say cloud services, anything. They are leveraging and utilizing machine learning and AI big time. So just imagine, and these are, like, I would say, Fortune 100 companies which are relying heavily on AI and data science, AI and machine learning and data science. So just imagine how it is going to change the entire paradigm of ecosystem of technology over the time, over the course of year. And everyone is dependent on technology, and down the line, 5 year, 10 year, it is going to be more inclusive, more extensive in terms of usage. Even people in the village are going to be dependent on their cell phones, on their computers, on internet, and everything is going to be interrelated. So just imagine, AI and machine learning is going to be a key game changer for every company. So that is why one should go for data science, and it is the right time actually, to take a step at this domain, or to jump in this I would say into this entire stream of change. So moving forward, so how data science life cycle works. So this is how it looks like at initial outset. This is a quite high level overview. Like first you gather the requirement. When I say requirement, understanding the business needs. Suppose a customer comes from banking industry. Okay, they want to develop a anti-money laundering system. When I say anti-money laundering system, many countries, or many I would say miscreants, or organization, they want to evade taxes and such stuff. They launder the money. Okay, and these transactions are very minuscule in a sense. Suppose in a year, if there are 10 millions or 20 million transactions, only one or two transactions will be money laundering, so these are very hard and nearly impossible to detect, so understand. Suppose because we've faced a scenario in past, they wanted to develop AML system. So we took their requirement. What are the key points they were looking for? What kind of data they have? What kind of existing technology and setup they have? And plus which kind of technology and what kind of turnaround time, or I would say delivery time. By what time, 6 months, 1 year, or 2 year, they want to their product to go live, and for how many consumers, 10 million, 20 million, 5 million, or maybe a million, how many people they are targeting, so understanding all these thing is that comes under requirement analysis, after which when you are done, you have to understand the data, and the exploration starts. as I said, what kind of data they have, what kind of matrices they have, which kind of system they are using. Either they are using, maybe I would say old data warehousing system like SQL Server, RDB means data of Oracle database, or maybe, mainframe servers, these kind of technologies, or data is directly coming from some hardware system in the form of log files, how you are going to extract, which are the key feature, whether, data is in a proper format or not, what kind of tool and technology you are going to use to transform that data to make it useful, you know. So that will be your next step. Afterwards, you have to start thinking about how and which kind of, AI algorithm or machine learning algorithm you are going to apply. So for that, you have to obviously have a sound foundation across multiple there, because there are I would say tons of algorithms or statistical modeling processes. When I say algorithm, these are pre-built or pre-designed, open source freely available frameworks. You can leverage them easily. You don't have to write everything from scratch. You have to just tweak it, change few parameters, change few values, and apply the model training process. That so algorithm is actually, we call it as a model. That's what. So these are interchangeable, algorithm and model, then you try out maybe 3 or 4 algorithm, 5 or 6 algorithm, and afterwards, when the training is done, you develop the model, maybe to give some prediction, forecasting, these many people, maybe out of these 1,000 or 10,000 transaction, maybe these 5 transaction are shady, these look suspicious. So another round of validation or verification is required for these 5 transactions. So this is how your model will learn, and you'll be having some validation process of checking your model's performance. Hence your model is giving you continuously decent and useful results, rather than just giving you misleading results, which can waste business time and money also. So that also you have to be very keenly aware of it, that you are not falling for such trap. Okay, so this is how it works. So once your development process is done, final process comes when you have to deploy it. So when I say deployment, it should be fully packaged. Maybe it is integrated with a front end, maybe with a website, maybe it is integrated with an app, maybe it is integrated with a visualization tool or dashboard, maybe Tableau, ClickView, Power BI, such tools. Okay, because user is not going to see your model. It has to be communicated in a neat and clean way, in a layman's term, basically in normal function, right? Okay, like in next 10 years, which are the products we are going to see are the most revenue grossing products across the vertical. So it should draw a simple bar chart, or maybe a bubble chart, rather than showing the entire line of codes. That's it. So for that you have to integrate with a GUI. Okay, so for that, either it can be deployed on customer premises, on their already existing servers or VMware's machines, or you can deploy on, because most of the companies nowadays are using cloud services like Microsoft Azure, AWS, GCP is also there, plus there are Oracle cloud services are there. So it depends what kind of technology stack they are using. Accordingly, you have to work with maybe I would say solution engineer or deployment engineer, and sometimes you also have to do hands-on deployment, understand an end-to-end entire security process, and how safely it can be deployed and how smoothly it can be run. And afterward, the maintenance and all those processes come, which are standard for any software development process. So this is a, I would say, quite a high level overview, which gives you keen idea and insight how it how the and typical AI/ML life cycle works, from in terms of developing, getting the requirement, understanding the data, then actually developing a solution or model or framework which can do some prediction or analysis, and actually serving it and presenting it to the end user or customer for any normal person. like generating ads in Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. These platform in the back end, they are using AIML algorithm, and the outcome, the ads you see or recommendation you see, these are the deployed outcome which are easily relatable to an end user. So this is how it works in backend. Okay. So I hope it would have given you, a good idea about overall, life cycle of any AIML solutioning. So moving forward, so we are going to discuss more about requirement analysis. And as I told you, it's a nothing in it's an objective to analyze, trying to figure out the problem. And data understanding also, I told you, we get the data from multiple system. We clean the data. When I say clean the data, maybe there are tons of garbage value. When I say garbage value, there will be some information which are not required. Maybe some dates are missing, maybe some, I would say, values are null or zero. Then you can, via your own business understanding or your own, past experience, you can avoid that data. Maybe some columns are having missing values, you can ignore those data. Like any typical form you fill, there are maybe suppose 20 fields are there, but they always ask for 5 important field which are mandatory to be filled, rest you can ignore. So in that way, you have to decide which are the important data, which are the important data points which you are going to take forward with the help of your business understanding plus past experience. Then you transform the data, maybe using new tools like Python, maybe Scala or R, whichever works for you. It has extensive libraries and functionality to clean the data, and then you can transform the data in any format via creating some charts, via creating some, I would say, saving in CSV or Excel, maybe uploading in database. So it depends what kind of setup you have. And that is how, data exploration and EDA works, as I said. So, you have to draw some charts. These are like, comparative grouped bar charts. These are stacked bar charts. These are, flow of maybe revenue, or these are again distribution of sales, like that. It can be anything. So these chart actually helps you to understand that, oh, this is how in past 5 years or past 10 years, a particular product or particular company, how they have performed. And on that basis of that, and you can also present this analysis to your end user customer, so they will also understand. Because as I said, you cannot show your code, no one is going to understand your code. But if you present this chart, okay, these are 4 products in last 5 years, the sale of these 4 products has been like this. So you could see, if I call this product A consistently across 4 years has been the front runner in the sales. Then you could see there is product B which has been, and but here the product C or product D has taken over recently. So this is how the comparison is done. It gives you keen insight. And here also you could, if it's a comparison of I would say sales versus revenue, something like that. So here you could see, say, revenue is quite a lot, but sales is low, or something like that. So it depends. So you can get quite an useful information, and that also you can share with your end user or business user, which they can easily interpret. And they can see, okay, these are quite useful, and they can make informed decision on the basis of this analysis, how to move forward with this data, which are which are the features they are going to develop and they are going to have in their final product. So this is how the entire data exploration works. So this is quite useful, and you will also enjoy this entire journey. Then modeling, as I said, this is how it works. Simply you feed the data, you build a model and predict outcome on the basis of, whatever the requirement. I gave you example of anti-money laundering. It could be anything. Maybe a car sales maker, they want to predict in which top 10 city, which model, suppose they have 20 plus model of cars, which 5 cars they should, sell more aggressively and top 5 city and top 10 city, which can, gross them most revenue in next 6 months, or which I would say portion of the year, maybe around Christmas time, maybe before Diwali, maybe around summer vacation, or maybe around Holi, or and so accordingly you build your model, train your model on the past data, you gather the intelligence, and you serve or predict the outcome, and they can utilize the outcome, and it will actually impact the business in real time. And it is quite dynamic and quite automated once it is developed. Yeah, though at first time it will take some time, it will take a great amount of work, but once it is developed, you can keep on enhancing, improving. It is quite easy. I won't say easy, because once you have developed right set of skills, and how to work around, and then it will become a cake, like it's a cakewalk. So this is quite useful. So deployment, as I said, maybe on customer premises. So you have to, as I said, you have to always score your models. Scoring will be, there are many, I would say matrices out there: accuracy, precision, recall, foreign structure, text data. There are other matrices, precision, recall also work, but they have many companies and many, organization developed such performance evaluation metric. And this is always an ongoing process. It never stops. Whenever you make any production, you have to serve the score, evaluate your performance from past performance data, and do the comparison. If there is a I would say steep drop in your performance, then you have to do root cause analysis, understand if some changes are required, retraining is required, either there were some change in data itself. Hence you can I would say incorporate those changes to improve the performance of your model. And monitoring, as I said, monitoring could be via dashboard, via email, or maybe some, raising trouble ticket, alarms, in such way. It depends what kind of tool and technology you are using. Web service applications are also there. Many companies have developed, like, AutoML is there, Luigi is there, Airflow is there. So these are fully automated, end-to-end platforms where you get a live dashboard via means of charts like bar chart or pie chart, and such charts. You always get weekly performance, daily performance, hourly performance. So such matrices are, there are many, I would say, tools are available. And plus you can write your own customized code with the in Python or R. That also is easily, we have done that. We have written our own piece of code for this entire journey, rather than using any paid tools or technology. And we have directly connected with Outlook of the user or support engineer. If there is some issue, email will be sent with the details, like this is how it works, and there is a performance drop, and these are the main reasons, so one should look into it. So this entire process is quite efficient and fully automated, but it has to be done after deployment. So this is how it works in real time. So application of data science. So this is also quite a useful, I would say, field to look into it. So these are the examples. There are tons of application, actually, to be frank, in every field. Like fraud and risk detection, I have already talked about anti-money laundering and those things. Credit card fraud are on the rise, right? Plus loan defaulting. So with the help of AIML, by using past data, by building sufficient intelligent model, you can also detect, okay, in this area, in this segment, maybe a particular customer may default on the loan. So accordingly, the business or bank can take the decision whether to provide the loan or not. And fraud detection, as I told you, and credit card risk fraud, they can easily apply machine learning algorithm, and they can find the cause of it, and they can make necessary changes in their existing system. Hence such instances are mitigated or minimized, by using AI and ML, machine learning. And healthcare, I told you, hospitals can target which what set of doctors or supporting staff they need for a particular disease, because maybe in a particular season, in a rainy season or winter season, which are the disease that are on rise, right? Like malaria, or swine, I would say basic flu, or measles, like that, and they can hire accordingly, have maybe I would say a heart specialist. If there is and they are seeing there is a steep increase in heart related issues, they can buy such equipment and machine also. For that, they will be applying AI and machine learning. Plus, in cancer detection, early cancer detection, I would say, and and such thing also, AI ML is being quite useful. And yeah, uh, development is still going on, but this is quite useful. It saves a huge amount of time and money, plus saves life also. And internet and targeted advertising, as I gave you example in Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or in Google also. When you Google something, you change another app, you find whatever you have searched or talked about, it the ad will appear in YouTube or Instagram. So that is how it works. So it saves a lot of time for just imagine a small company, they are trying to sell, maybe they are I would say new mobile phone, they want to launch in a very niche customer segment. For them, AI ML will be quite useful. You know, virtual reality AR, as I already talked to you about, in gaming, it's taking a huge load, right? Plus, virtual reality is being used for to treat Alzheimer and onset of dementia, such a thing, or post-traumatic disorder, people who have been in war or in forefront, so they suffer PTSD. So to treat such disorder, or anxiety, doctors are intensively using virtual reality, AI VR. So their entire simulation is being created with the help of data science and machine learning. So it is actually changing life. It is touching people's life in real time. So this is, I would say, quite a game changer actually. So moving forward, so data science in fraud and risk detection. You know, so as I already told you about, banking companies are profiling customer, with their past expenditure, plus they analyze, what kind of risk and possibilities are there according to age group, according to their job category. They are working in government sector or private sector. They will analyze the data plus probability of default. Accordingly, they will, disburse the loan. So this is quite useful for NBFC or banking sector. And healthcare, I already gave you example. Actually, healthcare of late has not leveraging data science a lot. Of late, I would say maybe 3 or 4 years back. But now in healthcare, data science has become quite popular, because they can see it is able to save huge amount of time and I would say lives, frankly, because in other sector you cannot see that people's life being saved. But here, just imagine this COVID vaccine, a normal vaccine would have taken maybe more than 2 years or 3 years in development. Here they are cutting that 2 to 3 years of process in maybe 8 months or 10 months. Just imagine. Why? Why analyzing that huge amount of data and and everything with the help of AI ML, with their huge, I would say, analysis capability and huge. That's how it works in drug development and all those things. They are using it for CT scan analysis or X-ray analysis. They can decide whether a person has a cancer, or whether a person has a heart-related problem or not. So it saves huge lot of time, because many times, as I said, it happens. There aren't specialized hospitals out there in many parts of world, but there you can just have the scan, upload the scan with the help of your cell phone. The cell phone, which has an app developed via AI/ML, will scan that your X-ray, because you don't have specialized doctor for consulting, or it will analyze it. It will draw some key features out of it, and it will tell you Okay, it might be possibility of a cancer or heart related disease, and that accordingly you can go to a specialized doctor rather than running helter skelter and doing multiple diagnoses, multiple tests. So just imagine how it is impacting life in healthcare. These are the example actually how it works, as I told you. So the image analysis or image extraction process, via applying deep neural network, you can do such analysis in real time, and it hardly takes, I would say, 10 second, 30 second once the model has been developed. So just imagine how efficient it is. And internet search and targeted advertising, as I told you, google Google is entirely dependent on AI/ML. They have developed a new model called BERT. So whatever search you do, you always get relevant information. Maybe uh, suppose you search anything, what is Delhi is famous for, you'll get at least around 2 billion plus result, but they will give you five top 10 result only, which are most relevant via applying AI/ML techniques, via understanding the data. So in a fraction of second, just imagine. And plus advertising, as I told you, in Instagram, Facebook, and any such fields, they are doing it. These companies, Pizza Hut, Shein, Amazon Prime, so all these companies are utilizing AI/ML, to target their products to the niche customers, and accordingly they develop their product, tweak their product, and maybe they will give you some offers, coupons like Netflix, and 1 month subscription is free, like that. How it works. So they are applying AI/ML, you know and VR, virtual reality, I told you. So VR, it is quite an advanced field, and at least for healthcare, it makes a huge difference. But they are trying to develop many such things. As I said, PS4, PS5 games are there, plus simulation driving schools are there. There are many things. For drug development also, they are using. So basically, huge amount of data in real-time simulation. With the help of VR, they can process it. But you need efficient and powerful algorithm. So AI/ML is helping to develop those things. And just imagine, with the help of app in coming future. Right now, also you have VR apps, but it's not impacting our life here. But in niche field like drug discovery, in treatment of Alzheimer, dementia, in gaming, in this field it's quite famous, and now VR is taking over. Just imagine how AI/ML is impacting your life. So how to get a job in data science? So we are going to talk about it, because as I said, it is a game changer. Many people are trying to get the trained in this field. But obviously there will be competition out there, and one has to have right set of skill set, right kind of training, right kind of aptitude to make a break in this segment. And so what we are going to see: data science market trends, what kind of companies are hiring in data science, and who all can take up data science, and what sort of skills are required. Okay. So as I said, huge amount of data being generated, be it banking, be it internet giants like Amazon, Netflix, or Google, Instagram, and but they have a lot of data, but they have to analyze those data in a quick and fast manner, and they have to get insights, information. So with the help of AI/ML, uh, they are doing it, but there is a huge gap or wedge between the actual demand, I would say, perfectly, or people having a right set of skill set. There is a huge wedge in real market. Trust me, I have come across in interviews. I have taken many interviews, and people have big degrees, and it's good having degrees on it, but they are not having the right set of I would say a skill set. They don't have proper experience, or they do not have proper understanding of application and methodologies. So that is why There is a huge demand. It's going to increase, trust me, going forward. It's going to increase. So one should definitely, try to go for it. So by these are like, high level analysis. So you could see how in US or such markets, how these job functions or career tracks are compared against each other. So data scientists, you could see, is currently highest paid, I would say, career track. Okay. And just see, and this is the situation right now. Just imagine going forward down the line, 2 years, 5 years, it is going to make a huge dent, and it is obviously quite lucrative field. So that is one of the, I would say, attractive point, or I would say attractive attribute one should go for when deciding whether to become a data scientist or making a career in AI ML related technology in space. So this is also a quite interesting and exciting feature. Just imagine. So which are the company using data science? So we developed like Google, Facebook, Weiger Labs, Paxata, Nutomi, IQVIA is one of the biggest company in clinical data process. And so all these companies are heavily relying on data science, and the need is going to be exponential come in 2 years, 5 years down the line, because they are expanding their businesses in many countries. They are targeting India now. In India, they did not focus maybe 5 years before, but now Asia, Southeast Asia has become one of the biggest market for any Fortune 100 or Fortune 50 company. No one can ignore, markets like Asia or Southeast Asia, and especially India. So just imagine, they are going to open up new offices. They are already opening up. Apple is opening their new offices next year in Bangalore itself. Amazon has opened their biggest office, I guess, in world, second biggest office in bigger world, in Hyderabad already. Microsoft has opened their new development center in Bangalore. So they need people which are highly trained, and they have right set of skills. So one should definitely I would say take not advantage, but this is the right time, to jump into data science. So which are the skills required? So these are like the bullet points, at very high level, like statistics. I would say foundation of statistics is highly integral. R and Python, many companies are doing in Java also, but Python are the top two choices of the market or most of the companies. ETL is extract, transform, load. When I say extract, getting data from different systems, maybe traditional data warehousing system, mainframe system, or file system, and then transforming as we are developing. Sorry, as we are talking about. Getting rid of unnecessary values, getting rid of missing values, and that is called transformation. Then load the data maybe into your big data Hadoop, or maybe into your traditional VMwares or such fields. So that is ETL. And data wrangling and exploration, we already talked about, by drawing some charts, developing some key matrices. So that will give you insight which is set of KPIs you should target for machine learning algorithm. So there are traditional algorithm, then there are deep learning, then there is NLP, text analytics, reinforcement learning. So there are tons of algorithm and applications on maybe normal numerical data for prediction, maybe text analytics, analyzing customer sentiment, analyzing documents, giving you top 10 movies, such analysis of images like we talked about in CT scan and X-ray, finding the disease and finding object in an image. With the deep learning neural network, you do that. And big data ecosystem, Hadoop or Spark you need, because these data are huge, maybe in GBs or TBs. Normal databases cannot handle such data. Plus, these are unstructured data. There is no structure to it. So you need Hadoop and or Hive or Spark or maybe Kafka. such tools and technology, which are again cost effective, quite fast, and scalable. And data visualization, obviously, you have to present your, I would say, final product or insights to the end user, which is a business person. He's not going to understand technology to the length which you understand. So you have to use technology tools like Tableau, ClickView, Power BI, or maybe in Microsoft PowerPoint also you can present. So it's up to you. Business communication is quite integral and, I would say critical, because whatever you have developed, if you are not able to communicate in a, comprehensive and meaningful way, it is not going to make an impact. Plus, most important, problem solving skill. You should always have some, some hunger to solve any problem, beat anything. I'm not talking about, data structure algorithm, but any problem. Suppose there is a traffic congestion. Suppose there is, because of weather or something, whenever a road or, development happens or bridge happens, the development is going slow. So how to solve that problem? By applying that your AI ML technique, getting the necessary data. So this is how it works. So you should have flavor of all these things. And over the times, with right set of training, mentoring, and guidance, you can develop such all these skills, and it will definitely propel your career in right direction. So these are quite, I would say critical skill set which one should possess to make a dent in this, I would say career progression or career track. Okay. So scope of data science. Okay. So here we are going to discuss scope of data science in terms of how it is going to, impact which kind of fields, which businesses in real life. So as we discuss healthcare, banking, retail, internet giants, and all those things. So in healthcare, energy conservation, education, we all know actually, right, how it is changing, and we already discussed in detail in real life how it is impacting. Plus, there is a huge demand in, like food delivery, right, cab aggregation, traveling, and like companies like Mintra and, all these things, they are leveraging data science big time. Without data science, they cannot scale their business at such pace. Otherwise, it would have taken them maybe 3 year, 5 year more to reach where they stand. So this is how the AI ML is changing the entire landscape of, I would say business and a particular, I would say, field or sector. In oil companies like Shell or I would say British Petroleum, all these companies are, applying AI/ML to find the best oil rig, at what temperature they should operate, at what capacity they should operate, and what sort of tool and technology they should employ by using AI/ML, in real time. So data science salary trend. So average salary by study in past 2 3 years in US is, you could see, around 96K. And India, for, guy having, I would say, 2 to 4 years of experience, or 2 to 5 years of experience, they can draw more than 8 lakh or something. So it's quite lucrative, as I told you. You know, and it's moving up because there is a huge demand, but there is no supply. And data analyst salary trend, you could see, as we saw the chart or, comparison, it's around 60K. So it is on lower side in India actually. And data engineer also is on the rise because they use tools and technologies like Spark, Elasticsearch, Kafka, Kubernetes, and, Hive, Cloud. You know, so these kind of tools are cutting edge tools and technology which are leveraged for deployment. Once you have developed your model, after, doing EDA, data transformation, ETL, for deployment, you have to use such tools and technology. Their data engineer job becomes quite handy. So that is also quite a lucrative field or, career stream. Data architect salary also, you could see, which you will become moving forward after you have some amount of experience in this particular field, maybe as a data scientist, as a data engineer. After having certain amount of experience, maybe 6 year, 8 years, something like that, or 10 years. So that also is on high rise in terms of demand. and it's keep on increasing. Trust me, it keeps on increasing because there is not enough supply of skilled and talented people. This is the problem major companies are facing right now, and it's across US, India, Europe, UK. It's across everywhere, even in Germany. So this is, I would say, the right time to jump into this, career track. And ML engineer salary trend also. So what is ML engineer? ML engineer should also know data science. He doesn't have to have expertise knowledge. He should know how algorithms work. Plus, he should also know some amount of decent coding. These tools and technology for deployment like Elasticsearch, Kafka, Spark, or Hive SQL. So he should be combination of both of this. As I said, he one doesn't have to be an expert in data science, but he should know and he should have working knowledge to become ML engineer. And one should be able to deploy such model once developed in customer premises. So that is also quite in demand and it's rising. So ML engineer salary trends, you could already see that. This is how it is changing. So tips and tricks how to become data science. So as I said, from my experience, I can definitely tell from my peers, from my colleagues, my seniors, what I have learned over the years, what I have seen across, what companies are looking for. You should know how to code. You don't have to be an expert. Frankly, you don't have to be an expert. You don't have to be some expert coder to write, 50,000 line of code or 10,000 line of code. But you should have a decent command to write code whenever needed, and it's quite easy, trust me. You have to just apply yourself. You can easily learn in 15 days or a month and start your journey. You don't have to be an expert, but you should have some amount of coding knowledge and skill. Data curation, as I said, you have to coding will help you to create the data, transform the data, extract information out of it, be a better decision maker. So problem solving skill and those kind of techniques. So you have to develop that bent of mind, how to apply which algorithm and what will be the final solution. And so it all comes with an experience also, and you should have the curiosity also. And trust me, it is quite easy to develop, but obviously you have to have that curiosity, that hunger to apply yourself. This is how it is going to work. So this will be the end of presentation from my side today. Thank you so much. Bye bye.